What's up, future millionaires? MTI here. Now, this past Saturday, Forex did another AMA talking about the drip network, the animal farm, kind of what to expect for its upcoming developments and utilities for this year and going into next year. Now, what I want to focus on in this video is a question Forex was asked towards the end of the AMA, and that question was, Forex, how do you feel about the current drip price? Now, he said a couple of things, and I'm going to do my best to hopefully dissect that for you. But before we jump into that, let's briefly look at my personal faucet and just to see how things are going. All right, so looking at the drip price. Now, it can be higher or lower when you see this video, but it is around $2.23. Now, yes, the price is still falling a little bit, but it has stopped falling as heavy as it was a little bit before. Now, one thing I want to mention, if you go over here to my faucet, you can see I hit a small milestone of 4,000. I have around 4,038 drip. Now, if we go back over to the price here, one thing I want to mention, yes, we're focusing on drip, but if you put the entire market just into perspective here, if you look at the number one crypto, the main crypto that makes everything go, which we all know, Bitcoin. If you've been holding Bitcoin, if you bought it a year ago, you're actually down 75%, right? And other altcoins are down even more, right? And how many altcoins are paying you every day to kind of help offset some of that decline? Drip's not the only thing that's falling. Everything is falling. Bitcoin went from 69K to around 16K at the time of this video, and Bitcoin's been falling since November of 2021. So when you look at the entire market, it allows you to kind of look at things a little bit more logically, right? So let's dive into what Forex has to say regarding the question on how he feels about the current drip price. Now, one thing he mentioned, which he has mentioned in the past, he said he did expect to see a decline in the drip price once the animal farm was launched. He did also say, though, his focus is still on drip. He also said, and I quote, "I am long-term bullish on drip," which means over time, he's expecting things to happen. He also said he believes the regular mechanics and developments that he's been building for drip will allow drip to go up in price over time. Now, this is what Forex has said in his AMA, I believe, with Crypto Doc last Saturday. So the question is, if you're in drip right now, what are you going to do? It doesn't matter what I'm doing. What are you going to do, right? And hopefully you use risk capital, because if you use risk capital, this is the time that can truly either, hey, this could be an investment you lose money on, or this can be an investment that you make a decent amount of money on, or some life-changing money, depending on what happens with drip in the future, right? Only time will tell. So the question is, again, what are you going to do if you're in the drip network right now? Most people right now are selling. If you look at the market, most people right now are selling. Why do you think the market is red? If you look at any asset, for it to go up and down, you have to have buyers and you have to have sellers. Rather, those are new investors or current investors. That's any investment. You have to have buyers and you have to have sellers. If you got more sellers than buyers, of course the price is going to go lower. If you got more buyers than sellers, the price is going to go higher. That's just investing 101. Doesn't matter if it's the precious metals market, doesn't matter if it's Forex market, it doesn't matter if it's stocks, it doesn't matter if it's real estate, it doesn't matter if it's crypto. Every investment industry, you have to have buyers and you have to have sellers. All right, so regarding the things that Forex said about the current drip price, if we briefly look at dripcommunity.wiki, we're looking at the roadmap here, and this kind of tells you what to expect for the rest of this year. Now, after a few more things for the animal farm, you can see there's going to be a big focus on drip, right? You got the new drip UI, you got the drip faucet layer 2, you have scratchies, you have lending that's going to be coming out as well, which is definitely going to be a big part of next year, which he said he's working on for Q1. And so after we get some of this stuff out, I believe we're going to see a bigger focus on drip, but right now the focus is on the animal farm. And if you briefly look over here to the Dune website here, I'm gonna hit the quick refresh here. So it's still about the same, but you can see we have about 1.6 million drip being held in wallets. This is not the faucet, all right? This doesn't have anything to do with the faucet. This right here is how many drip tokens is in the faucet, over 65 million. This is how many free drip is in current wallets just being held that can be sold at any time, right? Now, one thing I do want to mention that I think is kind of a good sign. This is the drip and bounce. Of course, at the early beginning, there wasn't that many drip being held, right? Because it's at the beginning of the protocol, right? But as the protocol gets older, more people come in, more whales get made. You see more people start to hold drip, and they're holding this asset. Why? Because they believe the asset is going to go up. This is why they're holding it. But you can see we hit a peak around 1.8 million, and you can see we have started to pull down just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit far as drip in current wallets. So that is a good sign to see, which is kind of understandable, which is why we have seen the price pull back the way it is, because people are selling a lot more than expected. But also look at the whole market that's going on. You got the FTX, you got all these crazy exchange things that's happening. So you have a lot of things that's shaking up the market, right? It's not just there's no utility that's coming. There's utility that's coming, but we know Forex takes time. He takes his time. So the thing is, depending on the time frame on when we see the next major utility for drip, how long will that be? Where will the price of drip be at that time? And where will the whole ecosystem be at that time? No one really knows, but only time will tell. Now, last thing I want to briefly go to, just to show you, here's the quick animal farm. Total value locked is still staying around that 120 to 130 million, which is a good sign, even with the turmoil in the market. So it's around 132 million. This is a good sign. So hopefully we can see this to continue to rise. Pigs is around 117. Dogs is around 52. Head on over to the drip garden here. I briefly just want to show you, I hit a small milestone, around 10 million plants. However, I'm still compounding because the decay is so heavy. Now, I wouldn't really just say the decay, but it's everything that's hitting the garden. You got the normal plant decay, you got the drip BUSD LP pairs that's being taken out, and then you have the drip price that's tanking. So those three major things really impact the garden, right? Now, let me close out of this real quick. Let me go to my other wallet, and let's head over to the dog pound, just to give you a quick update. So you can see my pigs is growing a little bit. I still have the same amount of dogs I purchased day one. And as we move down, you can see here's my tax reduction. It is now 12%. So now, remember, dogs has a 90% tax. So now that 90% will be minus 12%. So now if I was to sell dogs, it would be around 78% tax that I will still have on my dogs if I was to sell it, right? But it takes about 79 days to get this all the way down to that 6% tax, which is the minimum. And if we move briefly down here, you can see I have about 0.13 dogs BNB LP. So the goal is, like I said, this is just kind of a set and forget at this point, and I'm just gonna let it keep doing this thing. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys, you know, like I always do, a brief update on how the faucet is doing, how the garden, also the dog pound. And I also just wanted to share with you what Forex had to say regarding the drip price, because I do know a lot of the community kind of wanted to hear from Forex himself. How do you feel about the current drip price? And I do want to say this. He wasn't panicking at all, right? One thing I do know as well, he does have a lot of money, according to sources allegedly, which I believe he does. And then also people he's surrounded with has a lot of money. So in my opinion, and now this is all speculation, right? But who's to say as the price gets lower and lower, they don't just buy a bunch of drip and shoot the price up? That's very, very possible, right? And so think about it this way. The same way the market is crashing, the same way we are in a bear market. This is the hardest time for people to get rich, but also the easiest time depending on your mind frame. So think about what I just said. Millionaires and billionaires are made in the bear market, but how many people last that long to keep investing? Because guess what? When the bear market hits, a lot of money is lost. People's spirit is killed. So that means now people want to get away from investing. Look at some of the comments. Hey, Mike, come back to stocks. Crypto is a scam. This is exactly what they want you to think. They know crypto is the cheat code. So if they can get you out of crypto and stop getting you invested in crypto, you are now losing, in my opinion. Can you still win in stocks? Absolutely. but it requires even more money to make a lot of money in stocks. Crypto still the cheat code. Is the risk exceptionally high? Absolutely. So it all depends on your risk tolerance, where you are. But if you're still in crypto right now, you're one of the strong ones. Don't give up. So if you gain some value from this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Really appreciate all the support, and I will catch you guys on the next update.